So everything was good, and then one day my parents were like, we're getting divorced, and I was like, dang, I didn't know what I was gonna, like, I mean, obviously I didn't think like, what am I gonna do, because I'm 7 years old, you know, but it just seemed weird. And then one morning I wake up and like my dad's right there with a cop, and I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, your mom committed suicide last night. And I was like, what? Like, are you serious? Even like being at her funeral, like it just like, it killed me. And like my life got really dark. I met this dude, he was like a little rapper. He was in my biology class, and he opened the health book, and I pointed at Coke, and I was like, what do you know about this? He's like, well, I'm about to teach you some things. And I was like, let's go. Like, I wanted to die. Like, I'd see my friends die, and I'd try to put that needle in my arm, and I would try to die, and it wouldn't happen. I'd be like, what the hell is going on? And that's just proof of God, right? I went to this men's retreat, and I'm in the mountains, and I've known most of these people in this room for like a really long time. And I just had this sense of freedom. Like, I've been clean a while, and I just started worshiping God. Like, I was like, I'm gonna put both feet in this. And they were like, does anyone want to give their life to God tonight? And I was like, this sounds like an amazing idea.
Nobody ever asked me that question before.
What the hell? Stop.
Niggas, I ain't coming on the show again.
I come in here, it looks professional. Tune into the content.
Like you were telling you guys, I'm like,
I like when people have good questions.
So I want to pivot this conversation to talking about the addiction that you said you overcame and how that contributed to your success at Countdown San Antonio.
Okay, so it's a long story, man. My childhood was crazy. Like the beginning, like I had a good family life up until like 6. My parents, like we lived in San Antonio, in this little area called Leon Valley. Like we had a ranch in Ensenada, it's like on the way to Laredo. Like I'd spend time there, and we had a hunting lease, and we had cows, and I'd like drive around with a little BB gun. I was like a little happy 5-year-old. Like I remember like, my mom was from Laredo, right? So this is not racist at all. But she painted the house border patrol green because people would keep breaking in and stealing food and stealing my Nintendo, because I loved Duck Hunt at that time, you know?
Fine.
Like, who didn't, right? Like, it was the greatest games of all time until 007 came out, but that's another story. So everything was good, and then one day my parents were like, we're getting divorced, and I was like, dang, I didn't know what I was going to, like, I mean, obviously I didn't think like, what am I gonna do, because I'm 7 years old, but it just seemed weird. And then one morning I wake up, and like my dad's right there with a cop, and I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, your mom committed suicide last night. And I was like, what? Like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah. And I didn't really go to school. Like it was just weird. Like for the longest time I didn't want to believe that she was gone, even like being at her funeral. Like it just like, it killed me. And like my life got really dark. Like I went to a Catholic school, and I don't know if this, like my grandparents were like Methodist, so they like said that the Catholic school kicked me out, but I think really they didn't want to pay for me to go to Catholic school. But who knows? Like, shout out to my grandparents. They're not alive anymore, so I'm not really trying to hate. But shortly after that, my dad got like heavily addicted to crack cocaine. I said that like such a white person. He got addicted to crack. Like,
such a white person.
But anyways, and he was like never around. He had like this girl from the West Side always like at the house. But he got the like this little cool illegal cable box. And I got really into wrestling, so I was like, whatever, let me just watch wrestling and pretend there's nothing going on. But shortly after, like, my dad started getting arrested. Like, I had to move in with my grandparents, and, like, I didn't have a normal childhood. Like, I bought Pokemon cards, I had braces, but, like, all those things are cool, but, like, what's really going on inside, and, like, your family dynamic? And, like, I went to church, but, like, it was like you're at the age where they make you go to church. So
not because you want to.
Like, I'd visit my dad at Dominguez, which is like a state jail in like outside of San Antonio on the weekends, and like we would like, have a great time at the vending machine and getting like eating like crap. And like I think at that age, like I really just had like a heavy like soda and sweet intake. That was like the starting of my addiction. Right? It was like, what can I put in my body to like make me feel better than I currently feel? But I was just like, it was a dark place for me.
At such a young age, right? And then as you got older.
Yeah, I got older, it grew to different things. So like my dad would get out, and he went to computer school, and like it was right when Roadrunner Internet came out. So he went to like NA, and he's like been sober like for like over 20 years, like since then. But it's still a rough time. But shout out to him for staying sober for that long. But like we moved into a nicer neighborhood. I went to like a really nice middle school. It was called Rudder. I started hanging out with people like, I wouldn't call them like great friends. Like I probably know a couple of them still, but childhood was like, growing up was rough because like your parents are supposed to teach you how to do stuff, and like my parents didn't teach me anything. My dad like went to computer school, right? So I had like Napster, a CD burner, and unlimited blank CDs. So I burned CDs and I sold CDs and I made money, and that was like my first hustle. Like everybody started referring to me as Bunch, my last name.
That's fire.
So that name like just started growing, and into high school like I got into weed. I was always smoking it. I wouldn't like go to school as much. Getting a lot of fights. That led to like I started doing coke, and like the guy that had the weed had the coke. And it all evolved. I met this dude. He was like a little rapper. He was in my biology class, and he opened the health book, and I pointed at coke, and I was like, "What do you know about this?" He's like, "Well, I'm about to teach you some things." And I was like, "Let's go." And I started like hustling. Like I would get like a couple ounces. I'm 16, right?
Yeah.
A couple ounces. That's crazy.
That's a lot. That's
Like
16,
I would front like a half ounce to this school, to half ounce to this school,
Damn, that's
and like
wild.
like
The whole district.
I would never take anything to school though, because I didn't want to be in jail. Cause I remember visiting my dad in jail. So I try to like be a step ahead at all times. And doing coke, you can kind of like think, if you think you're a step ahead, you're like, I'm gonna build a Dairy Queen like one day, but you're really not. Like, but I turned into my own best customer, honestly. And I started like screwing my friends over, like stealing from their house. Like we'd have parties, I'd like take stuff out, we just show up at random parties and just steal TVs and like whatever we needed to do to pay for our next high.
Yeah.
And like I pushed a lot of people away. Like people would get caught up at school and they'd be like, "Where'd you get this?" "I got it from Bunch." So like I would always be in the office, and that led to me like not wanting to go to school because I know I'm gonna get searched. So I dropped out. I got into heroin shortly after that. Like my friends were doing it. We were just snorting it though. We weren't in high school shooting up. Like that was crazy because we're not low life like that. But
I think you know what? Sorry to cut you off, but I think the fact that saying that's crazy is what's triggering David's laughter.
Yeah,
because it's the thing to say right now.
So that progressed. Like I went to rehab like the day I turned 18. I got out. I was like, I'll just smoke a little bit of weed. But the factor in my life is whatever I put into my body is never good enough, and I always want something stronger. And I like it doesn't matter if I like do a little bit of weed. Like I'm gonna want to go back to heroin, and it's crazy because I end up like ruining my life every time. Like so that heroin, like me starting to do heroin. Like I remember I didn't shoot it for a long time. I can tell you the day I did, though, is when the Colts and the Saints were in the Super Bowl. I think Pat McAfee hit that onside kick, right?
Yeah.
To start the second half. I shot heroin that day for the first time. So it's just crazy because I relate everything to sports. So, and I moved from like California because I went to rehab there to Austin. Nothing worked. Every time I got clean, they're like, you need a relationship with God. And I was like, I don't want that. Like, I can do it on my own. Yeah. Like, I have AA, and I would just like throw myself into like going to, 10 meetings a week or whatever. And like, but I never put the focus on God. And that's where I made a huge mistake, I think. So fast forward, like I'm living in San Antonio. Like I have nothing. I have a house, but like, there's nothing in the house.
At what age was that?
This was probably like 29.
Okay.
Like we're fast forwarding a lot because like it's all insanity and nonsense. And like I don't want to tell you stories and try to make it seem cool because it was a horrible lifestyle.
So before we fast forward to 29, was there any significant points within that, fast forward where you were having second thoughts about what you were doing? And then you went back to. I
really wasn't doing anything. So when my mom died, like I had a bunch of land, they sold the land, but we kept the mineral rights, and I had a trust fund. So they were drilling for oil and gas royalties, right?
Yeah.
And the money was like going into the bank, and I was putting it in my veins. And I like wasn't working really. Like if I was, it would be like 2 days, and then I'd get dope sick and I'd quit. And like I was just asking my grandpa at the time for money like every week. Like I'd show up there so dope sick, like I probably would smell like absolute shit. Like, but I had no shame. I needed that next high. And it didn't matter who I hurt in my family, honestly. As long as I get that next one, that's what I wanted to do. So that kept going until, like, I'm going to say 27. Y'all have academies here, right?
Yeah.
Sports and outdoors?
Yeah.
So I would go into academies, and I would have an old pair of shoes. And I would put a pair of shoes from Academy on and walk out with it.
That's crazy.
Day after day after day. Or just steal other stuff from Academy and sell it. And that would pay for my, because got to a point where my dad was like, you're spending way too much money. And I'm like, what is it, your business? Like, it's my money. Like, let me kill myself. Like, I really didn't care. Like, I wanted to die. Like, I'd see my friends die, and I'd try to put that needle in my arm, and I would try to die, and it wouldn't happen. I'd be like, what the hell is going on? And that's just proof of God right there.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, so one day I was at Academy on Vance Jackson and 410. And before I went in, a little bit before this, I started adding meth to my heroin addiction so I could like stay up and, for some reason I thought it seemed like a good idea. Horrible idea. Like, because sleeping is amazing.
Yeah,
and
amazing.
You don't do that when you're on meth, obviously. Or you don't eat. So I had like track marks, and I had these fake tattoo things that I'd put over my arm to try to hide it. And like, none of it worked. It was disgusting. Like you can tell, like I have no skin right here on my arm. Like, because I was just shooting, and like, it wasn't even really doing anything. But I got caught up at Academy, and this Academy is like a mile from my parents' house. And I'm like, hey, Dad, I just got arrested for stealing. Come help me out. And he's like, no, have fun in jail. And I was like, excuse me? I'm not you. Like, I don't want to have fun in jail. Like, what do you want me to play chess? Like, so, yeah, I got locked up. I got out, like, the judge was like, do these things and you can stay free. And I did nothing. Like, I was on the run, basically. And when I got caught up, the judge was like, we're not letting you out again. Like, you're staying in for the rest of your time. And it was like a misdemeanor theft, like, whatever. I can still get TSA pre.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I have felonies. Yeah. But anyways, that was a little bit too egotistical to say or whatever. I don't know. But I got arrested November 16th of 2017. So my clean date is November 17th of 2017. I stayed in jail Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's.
Damn, the main big holidays.
Yeah,
to be with your family
but
and everything.
My family didn't want to be with me, let's be honest. Like, they said they did, but like, I was not a member of my family at that time. I was a member of society, and that's it.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you being arrested at that time was what you needed to get on the straight and narrow?
Yes, because my dad sold my house at that time, and he was like, you need to figure out what you're going to do. And I was like, what do you mean what I'm going to do? Like, I'm going to get out and I'm going to live my life. And he was like, you're not going to live it here. You need to figure out where you're going to go. Well, I would say in like 2014, there was a bunch of tornadoes in Joplin, Missouri.
I remember that.
And my cousin has a church in Denver, Colorado called Thorn Creek. Shout out to Thorn Creek, saved my life. They had like tornado recovery, so I went and helped him. And when I did that, I stayed sober. Like, I didn't want to do drugs. Well, I might have, but I didn't know where to get them because I'm in the middle of Missouri.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing, you
Can't
can't
trust
really
no
do
one.
much there. Yeah. Like, so he was like, you need to figure out what you're going to do. So I looked up rehabs in Colorado, and there was one in Estes Park and one in Arvada, Colorado. And let me tell you, the one in Estes Park would have been really nice, but it would have been really far from my family. The one I chose to go to was the Raleigh house, where they don't let you have sugar. And when you're getting clean, what do you want to do? You want to eat sugar. So I told my dad, when I get out, I'm going to move to Denver. So I got out, and I found out that Thorn Creek Church was having a men's retreat. I'm like, well, let's go to that, and then I'll go to rehab. But during that men's retreat, they had some free time, so I was able to go check out the rehabs. before I came to Denver, actually, Super Bowl. It was the Patriots against the Eagles.
Yeah.
Man, I got to see Tom Brady lose right when I was getting my life together. What an amazing feeling.
Nick Foles
What is
as
it
the
like
quarterback.
the throw to Nick Foles? What, Philly special?
Oh my
Sick.
gosh, you gotta be
Like,
kidding me. I don't even want to talk about Philadelphia.
Like what because y'all are Cowboys fans, I get it. They got Saquon now. Anyways, so I went to this men's retreat and I'm in the mountains and I've known most of these people in this room for like a really long time, and I just had this sense of freedom. Like, I've been clean a while, and I just started worshiping God. Like, I was like, I'm going to put both feet in this. And they were like, does anyone want to give their life to God tonight? And I was like, this sounds like an amazing idea. Like, how could this not benefit me? Like, look where my life was. Like, I had no bank account, no clothes, nothing. Like, it was sad.
It's pretty incredible what the power of God does once you surrender yourself fully.
It really is.
Yeah, because everybody I've talked to has always had their back against the wall, and then they always mention the fact that that moment when they fully surrendered, it was their turning point, so to speak. Like, failed entrepreneur, this and that, on the ropes, last $10 in the bank account, whatever. Surrenders to God, and now God's providing for him and his family.
Facts. It was like, God, you're taking over. Like, my life has not turned out the way I want. Like, so I went to that church retreat. I got out. I went to 90 days in rehab. And let me tell you, like, I had just been in jail for 90 days or more, and I have to go to rehab for 90. Like, it was not what I wanted to do, but I knew it was what I needed to do. And the first 30, like, I was just begging them, please, like, let me go to church. Like, they're like, no, you have to do things like everybody else. Like, we're going to pretend that you just hadn't been in jail for 3 months,
Yeah.
So I built some friendships, and most of those friendships, the people that were in rehab aren't sober anymore. Like, unfortunately, like, I've seen some of them die, but addiction is rough. Like, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But I got out, and I moved to like a sober living house, and I started going to Thorn Creek. And like, I went to Thorn Creek probably like twice a week, like Saturday and Sunday. Like, I got a job at that time. My roommate in rehab was like, my friend is a general manager at this pizza place in Denver called Bojo's. I can get a job there. And I was like, let's do it. And I became a dishwasher, And at this time, like, I have like a trust fund. It's really nice. Like, I could probably not have been a dishwasher, but like, I need to do something different with my life. I've just been doing drugs. So what's it going to hurt to wash some dishes?
Yeah.
I'm in Denver. They have the Rockies, the Nuggets, the Broncos, the Avalanche. Like, it's the rise of Nikola Jokic. So I can use some of that money to get Nugget season tickets and wash dishes during the day. Like, who would have known, like, that I would see, like, a young Jokic and a young Murray, like, and, seeing Nolan Arenado play third baseman every day, like, it was crazy. So I'm I get out of rehab, I'm in the sober living house, but I was like, let me look around, maybe I can, like, find a condo or something. First off, housing in Denver is insane. Like, I didn't think about it financially when I moved to Denver. But I was like working like 40 hours a week, every week, going to treatment, going to meetings, going to church, like, and it just, the feelings I had inside, man, I'm doing something, like, I'm not thinking about drugs. Like, that feeling of I want to do drugs got lifted immediately at that men's retreat. And I don't think about drugs anymore. It's crazy. Like, it's a blessing, because I prayed like for so long while I was on drugs to like not want to do drugs anymore, but I would just, after the prayer, I would just do drugs.
Yeah, you just go right.
But it got removed from me, and now I don't think about it anymore. So Denver was great. Like, I became guest relations leader at that church. But I was having to, this is a dumb reason to leave a city. Kind of. I was having to so I started doing real estate investing while still working at Bojo's. Like, I became supervisor, prep cook. I had keys to the building. Like, what? Like,
and worked your way up.
Yeah, I worked my way up. I mean, it's a bunch
top.
of kids. Like, who's really serious about work?
Yeah.
So I was serious about it. I loved it. They let me do whatever I want. Like, you need to go out of town? Have fun. We'll see you when you get back. Like, oh, thank you. Victor, my general manager, became my best friend. Like, I was just there like 2 weeks ago for a fight. I paid like $16 for like $120 worth of food.
Sheesh.
Like, shout out to them. Like, grateful for that relationship. But that got to a point where like I'm doing real estate investing and I have to like pay taxes on money I'm making in Texas and Denver too. And like it just got more and more expensive. Like housing was going up, and I told myself for the longest time I can't move back to San Antonio. Like all my old friends are here. I'm gonna run into them. But every time I came back, I never saw anyone.
Yeah,
like I wasn't looking for it. So why would it be there? Like I'm not gonna just stumble upon a bag of heroin. Like you know. It's all about where you are in life. So I decided like I'm gonna move back, and one of the guys that I used to do drugs with, we did a lot of crazy stuff together, like chopping dope and coffee grinders and parking lots at movie theaters. Like he was an MMA fan, and I'm an MMA fan. Like so we just like started hanging out again. He's been like sober 10 years. He's my best friend now. Like it's crazy. Like cause we used to do drugs together. So I'm like we started going to UFCs, and like I talk to him about UFC every day, and he's also a realtor, and I'm into commercial real estate investing. So I moved back, and I just like jumped into UTSA football and MMA and real estate investing. And one day, like, it's crazy. I was when the Spurs sucked, like before we got Wemby, right?
Yeah, I mean,
so I was.
Yeah.
Well, not gonna suck because we got Chris Paul, right?
Okay.
So we might make the playoffs now. Like,
shout
out
man.
CP3.
We got
so,
Thompson.
I was like, SneakerCon was in town
Big
that
three.
weekend, and I was talking to Chance and my Spurs ticket rep about getting Spurs tickets, and I mentioned that I was like at SneakerCon. He's like, "Oh, really? The owners of Countdown SA are at the table right behind us." And I was like, "Countdown SA? What's that?" Shout out the hat. So I go to the shoe store, and like these dudes are like super cool, like you know, and I'm like, I want to buy shoes here. Like, this is where I would like to buy shoes. And I kept going there, and I wouldn't say they didn't give me deals or anything, but I paid like a fair price. If you go try to buy shoes in Vegas or something, you're paying like way overpriced, right? So the shoe store was cool, and like they were posting about God, and like the Royal Rumble was in town, and it was when like Sami Zayn was still in the Bloodline. So
this was recent.
Yeah.
Like within the last
2023.
23.
Like, cause I think Kevin Owens wrestled Roman Reigns for the title that night. Like Cody won his first Royal Rumble. Like I bought tickets, right? Because I live in San Antonio now. It's at the Alamo Dome where UTSA plays. Like I want to go to that. So I bought tickets. I went to Countdown SA the next day to get some 4s. Jordan 4s for people that don't know what that is.
Yeah, Jordan 4 what though? Which one? What shoe?
The black and yellow ones. Like,
oh, is that the Thunder Force?
Yes.
I think that's the
I should
Thunder
know
Force.
that. I own a shoe store, but we're not there yet.
Thunder Force.
So, anyways, I go to Countdown SA, right? I'm like, I got tickets to Royal Rumble. They're like, oh, we do too. And I was like, where are your tickets? They're like, are on the floor. I was like, damn, I'm not on the floor, but I wish I could be. And I bought tickets on the floor, like just to like low key like hang out with them, you know?
Yeah.
And they don't know that, but they will now. So my cousin went with me, and his girlfriend was tripping because she's crazy. And she was like, I have to leave early. I'm like, bro, you live in Dallas. Or sorry, you live in Austin. And he was like, yeah, I know. So I was like, hey, y'all, you think I get a ride home afterwards? They're like, yeah, well, Logan Paul might be buying some shoes from us after this, but we'll take care of you. Like, yeah, we got you on a ride. So I was like, cool. So I watched like, you know, Bray Wyatt's last match was on that card before he died. And like, I looked at the card the other day. I think like Bianca Belair wrestled Alexa Bliss. Like, the standout in that Royal Rumble is honestly Gunther. Yeah. Like, I know this is off topic, but like,
no. I'm a big wrestling guy. We can talk WWE.
Like, Gunther was like, he's the guy.
Yeah.
I think him and Braun Breaker are going to go crazy soon, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm really interested in Bad Blood this weekend, too, even though I'm going to be at the UFC. But, so these dudes are, like, hardcore wrestling fans. So they're like, yeah, we'll give you a ride home. So I remember we were all in, like, really nice shoes, and we had to walk a long way to get to the car. And they had a Countdown SA, like, sign, like, because all wrestling fans have signs. And I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, he's holding up the sign the whole time. Like, so I was like... So business expense, huh? For you, if you're holding up the sign the whole time, he's like, you already know. So, we got to my house, and like we're just in the driveway, like at midnight.
Wait. Before I interrupt you, which I already did. But the sign that they were holding, were they holding it like on the cam side, or were they just
We're on
kind
the
of
floor.
no,
so
but like on the floor, but like where the
I think hard cam was like onto our left.
oh, okay, so
So-
it didn't get in the shot.
I don't know. Like maybe we should watch. the
Maybe
Royal
we
Rumble
should
soon.
look-
Go back
See
and
what's
find
up.
that. Go
That
back and
sign
find
is
that.
still in the office at Countdown right now.
Nice.
But let me get to the rest of the story.
Yeah.
I'm like talking to the owners of the shoe store that I go to
Mm-hmm.
about Jesus, like, and how good God is at like midnight
Yeah.
in my driveway. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like where my life was to where it is now. Like I'm buying shoes from people that love God. Like I love shoes, right? So that all progressed, and like, you know, like a lot of like really famous people in San Antonio get their shoes there. So like I really like that place. Well, like in July, one of the owners, RJ, calls me and he's like, hey, would you be interested in buying part of Countdown? And I was like, what? Like, I don't want to explain the whole situation, but, you know, friends go into business together, there's falling out, like, it doesn't always work out. So that was kind of what was going on. And I was like, I would love to, but I don't know if I have the money because I'm doing real estate investing.
Yeah.
Money might be tight.
Money might be tight. Yeah, it's hard times.
Yeah.
Economy sucks.
Yeah.
Like, so I called my dad and like talked to him about it financially. He's like, it would be stupid of you not to do it. Yeah. And I was like, go dad, let's go. Like, so I called him and I was like, let's meet up tomorrow and talk about it. And this process like went kind of quick. Like I was just honored that he called me, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
to put
like
yourself in that
because like,
position.
and like 9 times out of 10, I'm like, no, I'm not going to go into business with friends. But like this dude is so connected with God. Like his faith is like a huge steps above mine. Like, and mine's like strong, you know, like nothing's going to take me out. Like I put God before everything. Like if you look at my Instagram, it says God first. So, I mean, that anyone can put that, but I live that,
Yeah.
you know, like I've been sober for, you know, almost 7 years. I guess we didn't cover that part, but I have. Like, I stayed sober. Like, it's been the easiest thing I've ever done. Just the hardest thing to do was
to get to
get
that
sober.
point, yeah.
So I bought 30%. And like, I have the hat on right now. I told him like, hey bro, like this July, but like I go on so many trips, but I probably book my October travel like in May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
super
paid
intense.
for ahead of time. People think like that I'm just doing a spur of the moment. No, I've had this planned out.
No,
like,
that's smart, though.
Yeah,
That's smart.
like
That's how you
like
do it.
because I'm an overthinker, and I'll overthink my travel. Like I don't believe that my flight's gonna take off from the airport until I'm like in the air. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm like boarding the flight, and I'm like, they're gonna cancel this, like, because I've seen.
I don't know where
some
they
stuff.
dropped the plane off the ground. Yeah. Just like, whoop.
So like, yeah, I was like, hey bro, like I have a lot of trips currently, and he's like, that's fine, like you don't have to be there, and like I was like, okay, like, but everywhere I go, I try to like rep Countdown SA, and it's always gonna be like that, and like they know that, like I'll hand out business cards, like let's see.
He's got one in the pocket.
I got some right here.
He's got some in the pocket.
If you can see this, you can scan it. It'll take you to our Instagram, right? So
That's
I'm gonna
fire.
give both of y'all one of these. Y'all shop online. I'll get y'all 10% off whenever.
Heck yeah.
So I hand out business cards. I talk about Countdown SA wherever I go. Cool, it's in the
There you go.
shop.
Hell yeah, there you go.
That's
There you
sick.
go. You can scan
So
this.
everyone at Countdown SA, I would consider a family now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I was already cool with like the two managers, but like I go there on Mondays and we do this thing. It's the stupidest thing, but I call it the Countdown Crumble Mondays because every Monday Crumble has a new
The
lineup.
new lineup, yeah.
And like they're like, Matt, like this cookie, I've eaten one bite and it gives me a headache. I'm like, come on, like you
It's
know,
so good, though,
it is
yeah.
so good. Like they just
So
dropped
good.
a brownie that's like 1,100 calories.
so good.
And it's worth
But so
every
good.
calorie. Like I think last week there was a video like let me see, I don't really want to look at my phone, but there was a pair of shoes and it said these shoes may crumble, and I was like, because we post on Instagram the kicks every day. I was like, these shoes may crumble. I also may crumble because the confetti cake this
Yeah.
week is fire. So like you know, I've been buying shoes my whole life for fun, and now buying shoes is like work.
Yeah,
like
it's
I
a
go to
job.
shoe shows. Like we have a YouTube channel,
I watch
and
that one.
I try to. You watch it? Shout out to you
Yeah,
for
I watch
watching
it.
it.
Yeah, I
like
watch it.
it's good content. Honestly, I try to interview football players on my on the UTSA football team. Anytime they do good, We're 2-3 right now, but yeah.
Sound like the Cowboys.
We're 2-3.
Let's not worry
Like,
about it.
but Frank Harris left. Rashad Wisdom is with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Joshua Cephas is with the Jacksonville Jaguars. All those are my guys. Like, I love them to death. Like, I will still like interview them even after a loss. Like, I'll find something good to say. You know, like anything for content. Like, we just did my house. Like my sneaker room, my nerd room, because I have like all my UTSA lanyards.
Did they post that one?
Yeah, they did.
So
I have like a wall full of autographed UFC lanyards from the VIP experiences.
Nice.
I had, like they were like trying to highlight like bullets that I had in the corner. I was like, don't worry about that. But because I live in Texas, so
there you go.
know. But yeah, like I was only like I went to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I was in Greenville, North Carolina. UTSA played at ECU, which is East Carolina. It was a tough one, 30-20. We were up 13-3 for a while.
Damn.
Feel like we got some guys that just transferred. The whole portal is crazy, so they're getting used to each other. Like the offensive line.
Yeah.
We got some really big offensive linemen. And they're really banged up, and they're like probably shouldn't even be trying to play, but they got a heart, and they want to play for their team, right? And I give a shout out to Venley and Corey, like those dudes are tough. Kamara Missouri, I seen him like hurt his shoulder, like I thought it was like he was at practice screaming, and like a lot of people don't know this, like because they're not at practice, like he was on the ground. Like screaming. I thought he was out for the season. This dude didn't miss a snap.
And he's still going.
This dude did not miss a snap. Like, and I'm like, dang, is he okay? Like, I was just talking to him a minute ago. Like, what the hell? And anyways, like, so I was in East Carolina. Like, I came back Sunday night. Monday, me and my manager Caleb, shout out to Caleb, we went to UTSA basketball practice. We did some YouTube videos there. So I'm like always thinking about how I can like add to Countdown, you know?
Yeah.
Like RJ knows, like I'll call him, I'm like, hey bro, like I'm out of town like 6 days this week, but you need me to do anything? He's like, yeah. He'll like, he knows I want to be there, but I have all these trips planned. Yeah. So he's like, hey, you can go sweep him out the parking lot. And I was like, bro, let me make sure I don't do that between 3 and 5 because it's hot outside. We're in Texas. But that whole like investing in the shoe store has become a blessing. Because, like, those guys are so dialed in with God.
Yeah.
And, like, I be, like, getting unfocused, like, going to UFCs. Like, I don't be at church as much as I can, or as much as I should be, let's be honest. Like, this weekend, I'm here in Dallas for 2 days for a real estate conference. I should be in town for 4, but I want to go to the UFC in Salt Lake City because I can't miss an Alex Pereira fight.
Yeah.
Stone hands.
He's on top.
That man is like scary, but also super nice if you're ever next to him. Like Juliana Pena is on the card.
Oh, yeah.
Jose Aldo's on the card. Like, bro, the second fight I've told you I ever watched was Jose Aldo. So I'm going there.
Fighting,
my friend Jason, he got us tickets like because I've been so busy. So I'm like, hey, here's some money, get us some good seats, and he's like, I got you. Like we have. I don't want to discuss that.
Where y'all sitting? Yeah, where y'all
we're sitting in Section 8, Row 19.
Section 8. I don't know.
So,
Any low numbers sounds low.
Section 8 is like, let's say the bottom of the section. Every fighter that fights is going to walk out right by that section, except for Raquel Pennington and Alex Pereira because the champions walk from the opposite side.
Okay, gotcha.
Right. So I'm doing that on Friday, on Saturday. I might go see Joker 2 on Friday night, like because that movie looks. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
But Sunday morning, I'm waking up at 5:45 in the morning. No, I'm waking up before that because I have a flight at 5:45 to go to Denver just to go to church. Like, shout out to Rich and Eric from Fury. They asked me, like, do you want to come to our card this weekend? And I really do because Justice Torres is fighting for the bantamweight title.
Yeah.
And Paris Moran, who's their 125 champion, is fighting at 135. And I'd say he's a good friend of mine. Like he follows me on Instagram, which doesn't mean he's a good friend of mine. He means he follows me. But I still would want to see him fight. My guy Miles Banks is on the card. He's a heavyweight. He had a tough fight against Robela Spain, who's a giant Cuban man that's in the UFC now. He knocked him out like pretty quickly, but like he got in there with him, and that's like commendable. You know,
Real big commendable,
so I wish that I could like go to church and then fly straight to Houston, but those aren't like in the cards, you know. I'm looking forward to getting home, honestly. Like but next week we play at Rice. So obviously got to go to Houston next week.
Yeah.
The weekend after, I think it's a home game against FAU. But I'm going to Dana White's Contender Series on October 15th.
Nice.
I was supposed to go last night, but it's invite only, and the invite like got denied by the UFC. You can't get mad about that because you're just blessed to be in the building. Like that's how I feel about every fight. But shout out to Jacoby Smith. He won on Dana White's Contender Series last night. I met him at the airport. He followed me on Instagram.
Now we're locked
crazy.
in.
I got a picture. We're best friends now. Not really, but yeah. So it's just like, I think it's the rest of this year is just like football and fighting. I'm gonna go to UFC 310 first weekend in December in Vegas. The day Thanksgiving Day. I'm flying to Jersey. Where's the airport in Jersey? Newark? Newark, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm flying to Newark.
Jersey.
Saturday, we play at Army, who's 4-0 right now.
Army, really?
Army.
They're that good?
The Army,
The
okay.
Army and Navy usually are never that good.
The crazy thing about Army being good is Army players, shout out my guy Max, he plays cornerback for Army. They don't have NIL because they're in the Army.
Oh, yeah.
So
Damn,
they get,
they're not even
get,
getting that kind of money?
They get $600 a month to live in New Jersey. Like, you know how hard you have to sacrifice for that? So we play at Army, right? It's going to be like, it's November. It's going to be so cold. The very next day.
That reminds me of when Miami went up to Kansas City and it was borderline snowing last year.
That's a huge weather shock.
Yeah.
Huge
I
weather
never
shock.
mentioned this, but one of my craziest experiences, I think it was it was in 2018. Like, I was like going to a lot of Broncos games, right?
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about that is I got to see Patrick Mahomes. Like,
Lit.
I was at a game at Mile High when he blew out his kneecap, and I had tickets to Sunday Night Football the following week in Kansas City to see them play the Packers.
Ooh.
But me and one of my friends decided to go to the AFC Championship game. It was Chiefs Patriots. It was -4 outside. Game time, and the game's outside.
Yo, I'm not going to that game.
Like, bro, I bought a soda and it froze. Like,
I'm not going
I can't
to
tell
that
you.
game.
Like, when I'm a sports fan,
They look at
like,
you and they're like, why didn't you get the hot cocoa?
right. I wasn't a big like coffee fan, but shout out to Milani. I'm a huge Alani fan now.
Hey, we'll take the sponsor on that.
Yeah,
We'll take the
sponsor them. Sponsor Countdown. Sponsor anyone you want.
Yeah, that'd be lit.
But the day after the UTSA game at Army, the Jets play the Seahawks.
Oh, and that's your boy on the Seahawks.
Yeah, MetLife. I have like 5th row tickets on the Seahawks sideline to see my boy Reek. I'm wearing his jersey on Sunday.
That's
like
dope.
I got some dunks to go with it. I wish I could like show y'all my shoe collection. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I have
I'm
like
just gonna watch the video. I'm gonna watch the video.
you should.
Hey, we'll plug that in. We'll plug that.
Yeah,
that specific video of your house.
Wait,
tour and
wait.
everything
Is
like
that on YouTube?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
With,
It is.
Hold on, let me see,
Countdown
let me see. I
Essay,
can do
yeah,
that.
Countdown Essay.
Oh, you have YouTube open. What a
Yeah,
moment
we
to get
can.
this going.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and
That's
pull that
crazy.
up on the.
Yeah, Roger just added this feature where he's able to screen share and whatever we pull up on
see.
this.
There
side,
we go.
Yeah, we can look it up right here too.
There we go.
Type Countdown essay.
It might be. Yeah, it should pop up. Yeah, right there, the top one.
It is that one. Shoe market crashed.
This one?
The video starts off with us at a sneaker
Oh yeah, 4
event.
days ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's fast forward through it a little bit though.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, you too, bro.
Yes, sir.
Maybe, yeah, it looks like.
Too easy.
You
Go
go back a little bit.
Got a pair of Sean Withers.
Oh, there's my theater room. I didn't mention that.
You got a theater room?
Yeah.
Doritos, ham, slams, turkey,
You got something.
You got the
peanut butter
snacks.
I
crackers.
do.
blue with
I
all
have
the energy
autographed
drinks?
posters. from
Energy drinks,
A lot of the
Coke.
UFCs I've been to.
We
up
got
there.
4
fine.
screens,
I got
but one of them's down right
screen,
now.
it breaks
So we're
into
gonna put
different
4 football
screens.
games
It's
on here in a
island
minute,
system with
but
4
we ain't got time
Rokus.
for all that right
So
now.
you can
It's,
watch 4 games
I
at
went to
once.
Bjorn's.
Right
Shout out
behind
Brock
right there.
Schmansky from Bjorn's.
I got
He got
this
me
little thing like in the UFC
the
that- in
Rokus,
the
4
octagon, they have
Rokus
this
on a
little black,
tiling
like,
system, so
thing
I
in
can
the
watch
middle
4
of the cage
screens
with
at
different
once.
people's names.
We're gonna
You
probably
can pay to get
put
your name in there, and they cut it out
the
and send
Chiefs
it to you.
Bengals
I got that
game
done
on
at
right
Leon
now.
Edwards and Kobe
So we're
Bryant.
gonna go check out my little
How
nerd
much is
room
that,
part
though?
in the
It's like
room because it's kind of
like,
dirty.
But for
I
like
also
a
got
counter fight, it
this
would be like
Best Star
2,500. But like
photo right here. You
See if we
can't
can
see
get
it because
some-
it's
some-
dark in the camera,
Oh,
but
oh,
I was
those
gonna
are
give it to
lanyards we're
Caleb.
talking
Yeah.
about
All the
here.
way at this
Those are
fight, it was in
lanyards.
Kansas City.
So you got
Jared
autographs.
Cannonier,
Max Holloway, yeah, that's
in Louisville.
Imavov and
Darius,
Jared
Armin
Cannonier.
Sarukian, and
You're saying
Austin.
did you get the
Over
the
here
main
we got
guys on the
the
card? to sign?
autograph
Yeah.
lanyard
Oh,
from
okay.
John Jones, Cyril
There's
Gahn.
that's John Jones, special
guy
Don right
Diego
there.
Lopez
So you got, like,
autographed
That's
these subs
that's
for
a
me.
Fury glove autographed by Diego Lopez.
And I'll give you one good one.
Yeah, we're not
Jacob
doing that.
had him autographed. He gave one to
Hey,
De
he has
Luna, who's
folding gloves, too.
attorney
Autograph.
that sponsors them, and he gave me
Rashad
the other
Wisdom
one.
jersey.
That's dope.
I got the
One
Rashad
of the very
Wisdom
first
UCSA
UFC we went
jersey.
to.
Like,
That's
he's
sick.
a
small
Oh,
one.
the chair right there, the WWE
yeah, that's from
chair?
WrestleMania.
That's fire.
Yeah.
From Impact
That's
Wrestling.
stupid dope. Because those are hard
When
to
I was
get.
6 years old, I had Spurs
So
season
it was
tickets.
from
I
the
got
WrestleMania
autographs
that had
from
no
all the
fans.
players. I got
Oh,
Greg
like the
Popovich's
Greg
autograph
Popovich.
right
Yeah.
here.
It's not like I was
Back
there.
in the day,
I went to
no, it
WrestleMania
was like
next year in
92,
Vegas,
bro.
Oh, okay.
You weren't even born.
You either.
See,
I was born
would
another
not mind
12
going to a WrestleMania.
It was on the field actually,
Yeah.
and a couple of defenders hit it when they got
That's a custom
takeaways.
UTSA
Shout out
shoe.
to
I
Owen
think
Pee Wee,
you
he got
might
an
have-
interception.
those
Shout out
the
to
green ones
Danye
at the
Taylor,
top?
his
That's
crazy
the,
sack on
oh,
Arch
okay,
Manning.
Power Puffs.
We got a
Those were the
takeaway
green
too from one of
lobsters.
the running backs.
That's my
56
manager
to
Caleb
7.
right
Yeah,
there.
he's the one I always see
He's
on
actually
56
singing
to
my house
7,
right
but
now, 'cause I'm out of
1.6
town
mil
tomorrow, but we
to the
posted in my
University of
house, and I was
Texas
like,
program.
I'm kind of worried
Thank
about
you,
this.
Yeah, you're gonna come back. There's gonna be a
generous
There's a
party.
scale.
Oh, when is
'cause I'd
it
be
win?
worried about my
Well,
weight.
We got a little crawl space back
I
here
got a little.
with
You stare
I
right
had
there,
no
stare right there,
idea you
because
had that.
I'm
my
about to show the
favorite
Travis's.
little
I got a
camo private label bag.
travel
Shout out
everywhere
private
with
label.
it.
We're trying to get a wholesale thing.
Got the
Oh,
Fury
It
hoodie.
looks like there's like a
I do.
little.
There's a crawl
little-
space.
Yeah,
About to
it
turn-
says
about to
like-
turn the light on.
I love
So-
this shirt, man.
Oh, there goes the shoes.
Those are
Well,
good
there's
shoes.
some that use.
There's a little light
Those are
switch
shoes
and
I don't
stuff
wear.
there.
You
Yeah,
can
You
rip
got
that
the
space out
dub
for
zeros in the
somebody.
back. I see.
We were just
you.
talking about that. Actually, we were just talking about that.
You have a
Hidden fire.
Yeah, yeah.
God
Hey,
and
shout out
sneakers.
God
Hey, that's
sneakers,
dope.
man.
Those
He's
with
a
the
homie.
canaries.
Yeah,
Always
that's
fishing with him.
Shirt
Oh, yeah,
for
that's
these
fire.
shoes.
I have
Look
a
him up on
Blockbuster video shout out
Instagram.
with their
Support
shoes,
the
too.
man.
Shout out
He
to
might start
Blockbuster.
bringing seeds in
Yeah,
shop.
I'm an old head.
That's a
I got-
vintage
You got a-
shirt. That's
a
a
secret
shirt. I would
room.
rock that. A
I feel like I'm in
Blockbuster
phase
shirt.
rugby. Caleb's wondering how
Bro,
much
that
rent
Fury,
is
that Fury jacket you had
Yeah.
right there, that was
Come
fire
look here.
too.
For most people, it would
Those
be
are one
like
of my
a couple
favorite
$100
shoes.
bucks,
I'll
but for
probably
Caleb,
wear
it's
most
free
of the
because
I
he's my
wore
guy.
those at the
I wore those
all the time.
when I
And
met
you
you.
got-
Yeah,
how
I
does
have a
that
picture with
feel?
Tracy
Give up-
Cortez.
give up the nerd
I
kids.
see
We're
you.
all
I
like-
remember seeing you wear those.
So we're gonna go ahead and drop that
First in
stuff
here.
right there.
So I have the shoes right now that RJ's wearing. When I actually became part
Hey, we
owner
try-
of
we were trying to
Countdown,
get
it was the
Kate-
first pair that I got.
Tracy Cortez.
Yeah, my bad.
Shout out
sorry.
to
We were trying to
Dan.
get
That
Tracy
was such a
on.
stressful
I didn't want
moment
them to
because
be
I was
there,
like,
but
I
you-
went there to see the guy her brother was fighting. Like,
So I have
that's
some
a
lost
friend
and
of mine.
founds up
Like,
here.
plus that
That's
main
what's
event though,
always
bro.
so
Nah, I don't even know the
hard.
name of
Is
these
that just
shoes,
the,
but
that's your homie, but you also want to see the other
Yeah.
guy
Colin,
win. But it's like,
Bro, you got a lot more than I
it's like
remember.
your
No,
emotions
Reyes
of who you
I got
are.
Cortez.
these
He's a beast.
I got on
He's
Indigo
fought on-
Studios.
he
I don't
got-
wear 'em
he
anymore
lost to
'cause I own a
Peyton
shoe
Talbot
store,
on
so
Dana
he's
White's
kinda
Contender
whack.
Series, and Peyton Talbot's like one of the best Bantam.
I got the golf.
prospects
Yeah.
in the
I wore
UFC
these
right
to
now.
the
I
UFC
think he
Apex
just
the
fought
other
out
day
Adrian Yanez.
when I was at Dana White's
But-
Contender Series.
So
Shout
how
out
does
to
that
Steel
work
for giving your
exactly?
opponent a panic
They
attack.
get
I
invited
got
to Dana
the
White
Reverse
Contender
Mocha's
Series.
very first pair
They
I got from
lose, and they have
Countdown,
to go
original
back to wherever they were
location.
fighting
Still have the
originally
receipt in the
don't-
box.
and get another
Like,
shot, or how does that
I got
work?
the Phantoms.
You have to get invited again. Like
I've-
Sean Shelby
I've
and
got
McMaynard
these
have to
I've never
decide
even
that
worn.
you're worthy of
Probably
fighting
gonna sell them
in
if
Dana
you
White
want them.
again.
They're size
Like,
13.
But I
Let me
mean,
know.
Torres Finney just won last night. It was his third
I got
time on the
the-
Contender Series. Like, you
another
get
side.
opportunities if
That's
you're
a-
good. Like, don't
Gamma-
lose on the
Gamma.
Contender
Bro, this
Series
is
and
a
then have
classic.
one fight the
Gammas.
next
I got
the
them
next
from
year,
an
and then
ex-girlfriend
expect
for
to be
Christmas.
invited
Nicest
back.
thing
But
she
you
ever
gotta
gave
just
me.
keep fighting.
Yeah, just keep
Besides
fighting. Like,
anxiety.
pretend like nothing happened.
Shout out to her.
Like, it's crazy.
Damn, you
Oh
said
my
something right
gosh,
there that
dude.
I wanted to touch on real quick. Damn, touch base.
I
I get what you said. Oh,
I
that's
got
my question.
these from
Okay, so
like
with-
the
with
closet in
Fury or any of
Houston.
these
They're
other,
not
like,
like the
fighting
legit Freddy's, but they're
organizations,
pretty
they
cool.
basically be
Like,
Those are
like
fake.
the minor
yeah, they're fake,
leagues
but they're real to
of
me.
The UFC, like you would work your way up through them
I
to get
wouldn't
to the
call
UFC.
Fury a minor league. Like, I would call Peak. Like, there's
okay,
like,
yeah.
you know, because there's like Fury, LFA, Cage Warriors. Like, those
Yeah.
are top tier promotions. But like,
But
then
they're all
there's like,
fighting to get to
yeah,
the UFC,
Yeah, they're all
though,
fighting
right?
to get to the same place. There's fighters out there that like want to be in PFL.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
they want to be in Bellator. Like, well, I don't know if anybody wants to be in Bellator anymore, but like, Johnny Eblin's in Bellator, and he's like one of the greatest middleweights. Like, I'll argue until like the death with one of my best friends friends about this. Like, I think he's a great middleweight, but like, I can't say like Fury is the best to me.
Yeah.
Not just because like I have shirts and I have the promoter's number and I have the owner's number and like I know all the ring girls. You know them too.
Yeah.
Like, shout out Audra. What up? Anyways,
We'll clip that.
like I can't say like
I'll tag her. She'll probably see it.
she probably will. I can't say like that. You know, I know, like I've been to LFA and it's nothing compared to Fury. Like
Yeah, Fury was good.
Like,
and like
that,
you said, that main
card was
event
crazy, bro.
That main
like,
event,
I was sitting like
was crazy.
right in front of you, and blood was like
Yeah,
splashing
everywhere.
on Wayne, on Eric,
On
like,
Eric, yep, on everything.
It was crazy. Like, and that dude that won, he fought on Contender Series
And
last week.
we got the video, don't we? Right?
Oh, who?
Of that fight at
Austin
Fury.
Lingo and Cam Teague.
At the very
The
end.
main
when-
event.
Yeah,
Oh,
was
with
that-
the blood?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
think we have that
do.
one.
We
Isn't it
do.
in the
We gotta
shorts on the YouTube?
add
It's-
that.
or we
It's
gotta
on
go
the
find
shorts.
it. We gotta go find it real
Yeah,
quick.
for sure.
I
Because
think
that was
we can pull
crazy.
that up.
Like I don't want to put his business out there, but like blood was splashing on Eric's checkbook.
No,
like,
we see it.
no, we
Yeah,
saw
we
that.
see
Like,
it.
because
He
he
was
has,
whoa,
like, he's
whoa,
paying the
whoa.
fighters at the end of the fight. Like,
We
so,
saw that.
like, he had to, he had to eat a couple checks. Like,
That's fire.
It's
Giving
crazy.
him his check with blood on it. Fire.
that's
Yeah,
like,
that's
you
dope.
just hope you can keep that stub, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, keep that
frame
base
it.
stuff, yeah.
But, like, that's one thing. Like, Cam Teague won that fight, but he only fought in Fury once. And like, Austin Lingo is a multiple fight UFC veteran, so that win propelled him
yeah,
to
it was a
Contender
big one.
Series. But he fought somebody. He fought somebody who had lost to John Silva, like who just beat the living hell out of Drew Dober in Denver. So it's like, was Cam Teague really like he might have been ready, but how ready was he?
Yeah, how ready was
But
he?
like, so I feel like out of all the guys that Fury has sent to the Contender Series this year, like Cam Teague was probably the least ready guy, which is like not hating on the guy. Like,
No.
you know, I'm just stating a fact. Like Cam Teague will get his moment maybe next
It all
season.
takes time, yeah.
Yeah, and like he's from like Alabama or something. Like what just proves like Eric is flying in fighters from North
Everywhere,
Carolina,
yeah. Like you
from
said, the top
Vegas.
guys.
He's flying
Top
in
guys.
Imanol Rodriguez, who's like one of Diego's training partners. Dude's 5-0.
Damn.
Like I think he's ready for the UFC, but I also think it would be good for him to fight like Paris Moran, any flyweight in Fury.
How far was this?
This is a while ago.
Yeah, you got some.
There
it
we
is.
go.
There it goes.
There we go. Found it.
Yeah, we could watch it. The audio.
Am I in the video?
You might, maybe.
Because I'm like sitting to the
Because this
left.
is like right here in front
Yeah,
of
I'm
us.
sitting to the left.
No, it wasn't.
That
This
was
part
the,
isn't.
that
It's
was
coming
the
up. It's
that
coming
was
up.
the fight right after that.
Okay.
Ty Savage got that knockout on Aaron Peterson.
Oh,
Because
it was
that's
that one.
Steven,
That's where the blood
Steven
came out,
Peterson's
yeah.
little brother.
Yeah, you can see the blood.
That
right
was
there.
a crazy fight because that dude's parents were like, kill him.
I remember that.
I think I had already sat in
Bro,
my
he was
normal seats for that, but I was
He
definitely sitting in
done
front of
at
y'all.
that point.
No, they go like that.
That's
Yeah,
Wayne
that's
right
the-
there.
oh.
Hall of Fame
Oh.
announcer for Fury FC.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Wayne.
These dudes are down bad because they're Astros fans. Just kidding, Eric.
Dang, that shit was cool though. I'm not
That
gonna
was
lie.
super
That
For
was-
sure.
Hey, so how do you go about, like, okay, so every event you go to, I'm sure they're not just giving you free tickets, right? So you have to buy those tickets
I don't.
at the
I
bottom?
would never expect free tickets. I know for a fact that I could never do those things, and that's why I have so much respect for the sport of mixed martial arts. Like where we met was at Fury, right? And I remember like going to my first Fury, and I think it was in San Antonio, right? And I met Brandon Moreno backstage.
Do you remember what Fury that was?
Honestly, I don't.
Because the one we met at was 95, so
Yeah.
how much further you
It had to be like late 70s, early
Oh, okay,
80s.
okay.
Because they're
So
about to be
good.
at 100. And I
See
just
that.
want to give a shout out to Fury real quick. Like, that's the greatest regional mixed martial arts organization in the world. Like, Eric and Rich are like really good friends of mine. They look out for me anytime I'm in town. And, you know, I don't take that lightly. Like, they have me cage side. That's like an honor for me. Like,
Yeah.
because not everyone gets that. And like, you know, they've been cool with me since like we first met. Like I'd seen Eric at like some UFCs, and like, you know, he's been super cool with me, and I'm really grateful for that friendship. But you know, I met Rich at Dana White's Contender Series, and he's like the main booker. He's like the vice president, and Fury doesn't put on like some let me stat pad this guy or give him an easy fight.
Okay, yeah.
They put dogs in there, and they say settle that and see who's the best prospect in the region, and like that's what makes it exciting. I was just at a card, I think it was in Houston, yeah, and Tedrick Macklin fought Hector Syons, and that fight was crazy. And like both of those guys have already lost to like the best two lightweights in the country right now. In my opinion, Manchakira and Devin Dixon, they fight November 3rd in Houston, and I'm looking forward to that card. But Fury's crazy. Like, they've got multiple guys in the Contender Series. Last night, they had Jacoby Smith. He won. He beat the crap out of his opponent. Like, it was a beatdown. And this morning, I think Dana compared him to, like, an American Khabib.
Damn,
and I actually, like, met the dude on my flight here. Like, he was on the plane.
Oh, crap.
And, like, I saw him fight Jared McLaughlin in February in Dallas, actually, at Gillies.
Oh, yeah.
And he knocked him out in, like, a minute.
Jeez.
And I met him at the Statler after the fight.
The stat,
and
the
like,
stat is the spot.
Yeah, and so he remembered that today at the airport. And, like, fighters are just different people. Like, they don't walk around like I'm LeBron James. I'm better than everyone. You know, they're like you and me, and
Normal
it's crazy.
people.
Like, they'll take time, they'll talk to you, they'll take pictures, whatever. They'll go to dinner with you if you know, if you're not like fangirling out. Like, you have to like act like you've been there before. You know?
Yeah, that's
that's one of the things I have to do when I'm cage side. If I'm with a friend, like, calm down, bro. Like, we'll get pictures later. This is not the time. Like, my friend Livia Bieberly, like, she got a huge knockout, and it's probably the most excited I've ever been at a Fury. Because my friends step in that cage, and, like, I don't know if they're going to walk out, like,
you don't know
victorious or knocked out. Like, I have some pretty good friends of mine that get knocked out. So to see her hard work pay off, like, I know she's going places. So to see that hard work pay off, like, it's a blessing. Like, because at the end of the day, you want your friends to win. But so that's probably the most excited I've been. But since Max Holloway knocked out Justin Gaethje,
Bro, that one
like,
was
and
crazy.
I was sitting like, you know, in the 200 section for that. And her knockout, I was 5 feet away.
Yeah.
So MMA is crazy. I could talk
So
about it
what
forever.
what did you think about them doing it at the Sphere over there in Las Vegas?
To be honest with you, like, I was really bummed. Like, so here's another thing. My family has been UTSA football season ticket holders since day one of the program. I have built relationships with Coach Traylor. Shout out to you. You are a good friend of mine, sir. They, the whole team, like, treats me like family. Like, I have a lot of really good friends on the team. Owen McCown, Martavius French, Robert Henry. I love those guys. I go to all their practices. I go to all their games. There are other people that, like, Twitter's just straight hating because they're losing right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you are sitting there on Twitter. You probably ate, like, 2 pizzas and 2 bags of Lay's potato chips. You probably could never do what they do. You're just typing. Like, go to practice. Like, donate more money to NIL, because NIL is a huge part of college football now.
Now it is.
Donate more. Like, help your team. Do something to help your team get better. Like, if my team loses, I'm still giving them shoes. Like, so my team had to play at Texas that day, and I wanted to go to that Sphere card so bad because it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. You know, Diego Lopez and Brian Ortega is such a high-level fight. Like, I've got memories with Valentina. Like, she sat a row in front of me at SmackDown in Louisville.
And SmackDown.
Alexa Grasso, like, her manager is Jason House, and I'm cool with Jason and Jacob Parga. Like, the main event, Sean O'Malley, like, I saw him fight Cheeto in Miami, and Marab, like, it's just Marab, you know, like Tuesday before that card, he was in a guy's corner at the UFC Apex at Contender Series.
Yeah.
It was just another week for him. He's a hard worker, so I respected that he got that opportunity, but, like, I didn't think it was gonna be the way it was visually. Like, I was driving home after my team got blown out by Texas, and I had it on the phone, and I was like, my gosh, like, this is like, this was insane visually. Like, the respect they paid to, like, Mexican heritage, like, because it was Mexican Independence Day, obviously. Like, he put a lot of money into that, and those tickets cost a lot of money. The people that, like, I think it broke numbers. Like, obviously don't have the facts, and I don't want to act like I know the facts, but it did numbers. And, like, I wish they would run it again so I could be there. But shout out to them.
You know, it's crazy because, you know, when I saw that happening, and then I'm like, yo, why are they trying to go up against a Canelo fight? But then again, I mean, the fight that Canelo was having wasn't all that popular to begin with.
Let's be honest, like, they announced the Sphere before Canelo announced his fight. Now, we all know as boxing fans that Canelo always fights that weekend. in Vegas, but like, give me Canelo and Benavidez. Give me
Right.
Canelo and Terrence Crawford. Give me something I want to see instead of like, I might hate on Canelo here for a minute, but he's making money. He's doing numbers for himself financially, but he's not like fighting people that deserve a fight with Canelo. You know, like I feel like maybe the Saudis are gonna get a little more involved, and maybe they'll make that happen. But like, you got Tyson Fury, he's fighting like Usyk and Wilder and Joshua and like Francis. Not saying like Francis is a great boxer, but like he's taking those fights. You know, like Tank will fight whoever. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying like, you know, Ryan Garcia, that was a pretty good fight, but like.
Shout out to Ryan Garcia, by the way.
Him getting knocked out was a good fight.
I mean, it was like everyone wanted to see that fight. Yeah, and it happened. You know, but like
round two,
did I
want
to see Canelo versus Edgar Berlanga?
No, nobody wanted to see that.
Nobody wanted to see that.
I think he's just cherry picking his fights.
Yeah.
I think he's just waiting it out a little bit more. It's like they say, let the fight build up.
Right.
And then go ahead and make the fight happen. I mean, think about it. Look how long it took for Mayweather and Pacquiao to happen. Like, it took a long, it took years.
Like, they were pretty old when it happened.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but it still happened because Mayweather knew he had the edge.
Highest
and even
gate ever at MGM Grand, I think.
It probably was.
I think my thing with Canelo is that he's at the point of his career where he's trying to pack his stats.
Yeah.
And I mean,
can't hate the man.
You can't hate the man. I mean, he's put himself in a position to do that, but like,
he fought everybody, dude.
Bro, I mean, yeah. But, you know, from what I'm seeing on the news and shit, that he wants to get another round with Bivol. Like, bruh, no, go find somebody we want to see you fight. Yeah. And his excuse is, oh, Mexicans, I represent Mexicans. I'm not going to fight another Mexican. I was like, boy, shut the fuck up and run this shit.
Yeah, you would do it. He would do it. I think, well, if I'm correct, didn't Bivol fight David Benavidez?
I don't know. We can look it up.
I could have sworn I think he fought him. And if he did fight him, it would make sense why Canelo would want to fight Bivol again, because he'd be like, okay, I think if Bivol lost, then if Canelo beats him this time, then he's like, okay, I think I am ready for that David Benavidez fight. Because David Benavidez is a lot bigger than Canelo is, man. Just weight size and height and everything.
Which fight are you talking about?
David Benavidez and then Canelo. If that could happen, yeah.
Like, I remember Canelo lost to that dude that was in the higher weight class.
Yeah, Bivol. Bivol.
Yeah. Okay, I was literally at UFC 274 when that fight happened.
Damn, that's so long ago, bro. We're already at
307, right?
Oh
and the co-main event was Carla Esparza, Rose Namajunas for one of the women's titles.
I remember that one, yeah.
And it was so boring. Everybody in the building was just watching the Canelo fight. But, like, I'll never go out of my way to watch a boxing fight. I'm just going to be real with y'all. Like,
I think it just depends.
Yeah, okay. It depends. Like
that Crawford Spence fight was pretty big for, I guess, us Dallas natives.
I definitely will watch Terrence Crawford fight. I definitely watch Tyson Fury fight. But, like, anyone other than that, like, Tank, like, I just heard, like, he might be fighting in December. Some people are saying Houston. That would be crazy.
That would be crazy.
I don't want to put any, like, I don't want to put my phone out and look it up. Like, but
no, but he's not fighting him.
Yeah.
But that's what
I don't know. For me, I just know that I'm watching highlights. I'm not gonna pay $80 on the zone.
True.
I'm not doing that. Why? To watch a fight that they're just gonna give highlights out?
Right.
I'd rather watch that. I mean, no. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about fighting in the household. For Hispanics specifically, and it could be the same for everybody else, but we turned it into a whole thing. We turned it into a whole event. Oh, Canelo's fighting? All right, fire up the grill.
Fajitas,
call
every native you got.
Yeah.
No, seriously, they turned it into a party. And it's like, okay, cool, the fight's about to start. Everybody's half drunk. Somebody already fought outside in the backyard. You know, and it's a whole thing. But I don't know, man. I don't know if it, because, like, I don't get like that for wrestling. I don't get like that for UFC, and I don't really see a lot of people get like that for any other sport, unless it's a Super Bowl.
Right. Or a Cowboys game with somebody all around here, but I don't know about all that.
Cowboys fan or Texans fan?
They're going to lose on Sunday night to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let me tell you that right
think
now.
So? No
I am a Pittsburgh
way.
Steelers fan, so like, but I also root for the Seahawks because of my guy Tariq Woolen. He went to UTSA. I root for the 49ers because Spencer Burford played for the 49ers.
So you go for everybody.
Like, well, I'm not like I'm not rooting for the team. I'm rooting for the person.
Yeah,
I
the
want
person,
them to succeed.
You know what? I feel that same way since we had Amari Cooper on. Now I'm just like, I don't really give a fuck about the Browns because they're wasting Amari. But
Nobody else does either.
Yeah, I know.
We just want Amari to do
Yeah,
good.
no, for sure.
Like they're
well,
even talking about him coming back potentially to the Cowboys.
I play a lot of fantasy, so like I have to root for like this guy, but I'll have like 6 teams, so I'll be like, oh, he scored. Well, I'm losing in this league, but I'm winning in this league.
6 teams is
No,
crazy.
they're all dynasty leagues too, so it's not like you draft every year. You just add rookies.
Oh,
so
okay,
like,
gotcha.
yeah, so during COVID, it was a thing to do. Like we didn't have anything to do, so we just played fantasy football. Now I have too much to do, and I was just telling my friend Cole the other day, like I need to get out of some of these leagues, bro. Like I don't have time.
2 leagues and just chill.
I just finished a fantasy baseball league, and I came in second place, and I'm like, might as well not even play, you know? But whatever.
Yeah, because if you ain't first, you last.
Yeah, it was.
Dang, I thought they give like first place, second place, third place.
Yes, I like, and if it's in San Antonio, I probably spend like $3,000 on tickets for all my people.
Yeah.
Like UTSA football players, my friends, my family, like, and I'll never sit cage side in San Antonio because I'm always there entertaining people with my friends. Like last time I had Rashad Wisdom from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like he's on the practice squad, but he's in the NFL.
Yeah, you
so
can't take that away.
I had him sit next to me, like. One of my best friends, Zach Borrego, like he fought Bo Nickel on the Contender Series. Like he made it to the Contender Series and got Bo Nickel, which is some bullshit. Like let's be honest.
Would you want to get
like,
an easier guy to keep going?
I mean, he's taking nothing but the toughest fights, and it's tough to watch because he's like 6-5, but I love him to death. Like
it's hard seeing what he takes
like,
losses.
Yeah. But like I'm glad he's got these opportunities because if he keeps going, it's gonna make him better.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to be.
Yeah, that's what you want. But like,
Ugly Man Joe.
But the better guys.
But let's see, like. One of his last losses was to Adam Vithill, who's the Fury middleweight champion. He lost to another guy, Lejean something, who's like, I don't know if he's a peak champion, but he's the champion somewhere else. He lost to Jordan Wright, who was a UFC veteran, who just really Jordan Wright hugged him for like, 25 minutes. Like every time Zach got away and started throwing, he didn't want none of that. So that wasn't like a terrible loss, but then Bo Nickel.
Yeah. Hey, so how did you get inside the thing for Fury 95? How did you get around the inside of that?
I have friends that like are people I follow like really closely that I know like that are fighting on the card. So I'm like, hey, can I like for that card specifically where I met you? I was like, hey, can I sit cage side for Josh Walker's fight? And they're like, yeah. Like in Houston, I was like, can I sit cage side for Liv Biberly's fight? I always be saying her last name wrong, but I'm saying Liv. Sorry, but they're like, yeah, and like they let me in, and like they were like, why don't you just sit here for the whole time? And I'm like, all right. But every time I do that, like, I just want you to know, like, I don't show up and I'm like, hey, I'm here. Like, no, I buy a $400 table with 4 seats. And if I go with one friend, like, and they say you want to sit cage side, cool. But if I go show up at that table for 4 with 3 other people, I'm not even gonna ask because I like
it's just too much.
Like
more
it's too much
to get
like,
all 4.
Like,
no, it's funny because J. Cruz did say that. He said every time he goes somewhere, it's easier for him to get connected like that when it's just him. But if he brings another person, it's like, I don't know, bunch.
Yeah. Like, and I would, like, if they said not tonight, I'd be like, that's fine. Like, but I'm still going to buy tickets and I'm still going to go because I'm still supporting multiple people on the card.
Yeah.
Like, but, like, I think the first event they had in Dallas, Basil Hafez was on the card, and he's in the UFC now. And like I'd asked Eric, what do I got to do to sit in here? He's like, just keep coming. Like, and I was like, all right. And like I just kept showing up. Like, went to some horrible events at Cowboys Dance Hall. The very first Fury I ever went to, there was a riot.
Damn.
Like the very last fight, like people in the crowd started fighting. One of the amateurs jumped over the side of the cage to try to break it up.
That's crazy.
Like they both got disqualified.
Damn.
Like,
what the fuck?
Like so, like I was like, what is this? But I still went, and it was badass. Like,
that's lit,
because like fighting is crazy. Like
it is.
Stuff happens. Like it's not gonna always be like.
It's crazy to me that like fighting's like when we're at the event, you're like, damn, this is like legal.
For
like,
real.
This is like legit
this
legal.
This is actually happening.
Like, there was like a 17-year-old that didn't y'all like.
Yeah, we had
him
Cody
on?
Anderson.
Yeah, Cody Anderson
out of Fort
There
Worth.
was like a 17-year-old that got a head kick, bro. Second fight of the night, I think.
7 seconds.
That was crazy.
Shout out to our boy Cody Anderson.
That was crazy. That was a crazy knockout. Insane.
But
I mean, he has that. That dude has the personality
Yeah.
to be another Conor McGregor.
But
if he just puts the work in to get better, he could be another Sugar Sean, another McGregor.
Let me make this like a little bit more clear. Like, I didn't just like show up to Fury and they were like, like met them. And I met them at Dana White's Contender Series, like in the Apex, the headquarters. So like, and to get in there, like it's not easy,
Yeah,
Like like they've been just super cool with me just since like those days, And I've only known them like 2 years, but like I consider them really good friends. They're like, I would send them shoes if they wanted to send a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
So take advantage of that.
Yeah, I would take advantage of that for sure. Hey, I need them new Travis Scotts on my feet.
Let's see.
Hey, and he literally has the new
Oh,
Travis Scotts,
snap.
the ones that just released, bro.
Yeah, I got the
with the pink laces.
with the
fire.
pink laces. Shout out to
Fire.
my one of my employees, Thomas. He's also a good friend of mine. He got these probably from kicking it in a raffle. Yeah,
You know what's
just
crazy?
Be careful with them. I'm just kidding. He got them, and like I found out he had my size, and I was like, hey, bro, let me get those.
Yeah,
You
this
know
is
what's
some
crazy? I
fire
almost got
ass
those,
suede.
dude. I almost got those from Frank.
My dad hit on those
Frank
on the
Louboutin?
sneakers.
Yeah,
auction.
he was gonna hook me up, and I
You should have.
I just never put the trigger to that.
They're sick.
Yeah,
like, I
fire.
like
the,
them.
The leather quality is actually really
What
good.
is
Like
on these.
my dad hit on those
And the
and
suede.
Put it to the
sneakers.
camera real quick.
And the suede.
Oh, that one. No, here.
If you guys want those, we have them at Countdown SA. We might not have your size, but we can get it.
Boom.
So
Fire.
follow
SA,
Countdown SA on Instagram.
In
bro.
San
We have
Antonio.
we
So
have
if you're in San
29
Antonio,
Our account has 29.1 thousand followers. We
lot.
we are trying to get Chris Paul in studio. So Chris Paul, if you're
sure he
not
will.
in studio, in shop. So Chris Paul, if you're listening, like come through.
we got
Wemby.
to clip that.
We'll clip that.
We got Jeremy Sohan. He comes through.
So
Keldon,
that's the one with the that
he went to
arm
Baylor.
tattoo,
Yeah,
right?
he
That
has
crazy
the.
arm tattoo.
Yeah, I think he's from like
With the
Poland or
crazy hair.
something.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
he's cool. I
He is pretty
actually
good.
met him at UFC 290 at the Volkanovski air fight. I didn't like tell y'all the real number of UFCs I've been to,
How many
but
is
last year, like I counted each fight on every card I went to, and I was like at 289.
200?
289 fights.
What
But
the-
like a Fury card will have 20 fights, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
so how
like,
many?
this year I'm not even doing
How
that.
many events have you think you've gone to?
I think it's
let's
like-
say Fury and UFC. How many events do you completely think?
Well,
you've
I
gone
think
to?
UFC, PFL, like if we're not counting Fury,
Yeah,
like UFC, PFL, Bellator, I'm at like 38.
Okay, still a lot.
That's still a lot.
You got-
Fury,
Yeah.
like I've probably been to like the majority of the past cards. Like,
Damn.
But I'll wake up, like I live in San Antonio. Houston's like right
Not that
there.
far,
I'll wake
yeah.
up and I'll get on a plane for 30 minutes and just go to Fury.
That's a quick- yeah,
Like,
that's a quick
but
one.
it's like stupid expensive sometimes. And then like it'll be over and I'll just fly home and I'm like,
Damn.
it's crazy.
You're like, I can't believe I just did
I
that.
spend so much time in the air. It's stupid, but like I do all that because like God has done so many great things for me. He's like made me like able to afford this life,
Yeah.
So shout out to him. Like all the stuff that we're really
Shout out to
talking
God.
about is because of what God's done for me. Like I don't want to act like, this is all because of me. Because like I told you what I did to my life, and God had to like remove all of that.
all the vices and
So
everything.
yeah, but like I have a Southwest credit card and I have Companion Pass.
Oh, hell yeah.
So like I have a friend can fly with me for $5.
$5.
It's crazy. Well,
That is-
that's one way. So round trip is 10.
Bro, that's a
That's
steal.
still really good.
That's a
It's like better than Spirit. Frontier.
Spirit.
Also,
Spirit,
like,
one of the worst airlines.
yeah, it's an airline. Like I'm not gonna hate on it because it gets you to point A from point A to point B. You
In
know,
a
it's but, like,
uncomfortable way, but
Yeah,
yeah, sure.
But like, imagine like flying Delta and you want to go somewhere and you have to stop in Salt Lake City or Atlanta or
Yeah.
Minneapolis. Like they don't fly anywhere direct unless you want to go to one of those.
I hate
you
not
know,
flying
so
anywhere
first class
direct.
is cool, but like you still have to change planes most of the time. Like so,
Lame.
like just I feel like I'm in the air. I'm grateful. Like I don't have to drive somewhere. Like
You know what's funny? As I think everything ties back into you're always high, but now you're high on life.
bro, facts. Like
Yeah,
or
I
coffee,
like that.
or coffee, or Alani. Once again, shout out to Alani.
Shout out to Alani,
Yeah.
Countdown SA.
Yeah, you were always looking for that next high, and now God gave you that next high, and that
Yeah.
next high is just now enjoying life.
No, for sure.
And
Life
all
is
the little
life
things,
is so
yeah.
good.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
You got any last ones?
So yeah, real quick. Aside from the traveling and then the business conferences you're going to, What do you have in mind for the end of 2025?
What do I have in mind for 2025?
Yeah.
Dang, like
We're almost done with the year,
I
bro.
literally just told y'all that I'm like steps ahead. So, what trips do I have planned? Or
No,
like,
just
what do I like?
moves you want to do, things you want to accomplish.
Yeah,
in
next
Like
2025.
honestly, like I just want like Countdown to grow, like our sales to like because the shoe market is down. So,
Yeah, right
like,
now it's
No,
yeah,
I'm
it's
trying to
bad
like
right now.
trying to find ways to like not that I can bring it back up myself, but like just spreading awareness on the shoe game might help bring it up. Like
Yeah.
being on this podcast and talking about Countdown might help it.
Yeah.
Like my parents, this is crazy. They just bought like a college baseball team. It's
That's crazy. You can do that?
called the Macon Bacon. They bought 3% of it.
Oh,
3%
okay.
still
That's
like
lit,
yo.
it's in Macon,
3%.
Georgia. So I wanted to like go out there and like do some baseball things. I want to go to WrestleMania.
That's what I'm saying. That's fire.
They're gonna do
man.
one
I'd
in
love to be
Vegas
able
yeah,
and
to
they're
do
gonna do it in
MetLife
Vegas. But like,
after.
I heard the first row seats for both nights, VIP experience was 50 G's.
Whoa.
And like, I'll never be able to afford that. I mean, one day.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to sit here and tell you like my goals to 2025 would be like fly private because that's unrealistic.
Yeah.
But I just want my life to get a little bit better than it is right now, and it's really good right now. So like. Damn. I just want to get closer to God, honestly, because God will make everything happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that. I truly believe that. There's where the Rangers play, AEW is running All In there. So
Oh, yeah,
I'd like to
it's
go,
not too far.
Yeah, I'd like to go to that.
Yeah. I've been to a couple AEWs. They're
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
about to be
AEWs? Or they're doing it at the...
all Elite Wrestling.
Yeah, they
but
do
they're
it over
doing
here at the Esports Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have a show at where the Rangers play.
Oh,
No,
at the
Globe
Globe
Life.
Life. At Globe
Yeah.
Life. Got you. That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a stupid
Yeah.
crazy stadium.
I'm excited. Like I'm going to that same men's retreat in February that I
Oh,
gave my
okay.
life to God at. It'll be like 7th year in a row.
Damn, that's crazy.
Nice.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
That's the consistency.
Yeah,
It's
for
actually
sure.
good that you're able to do 7 years and
Yeah.
not have to relapse. And now, like I said, now you're high on life.
yeah, no, like relapse is like I was with my dad earlier, right? And like I went to Vegas last night knowing that I couldn't get into Contender Series, but I went to like hang out with somebody.
Yeah.
And we went into a Mexican restaurant. My dad's like, if you had known like you could just go to Vegas and like just for one night, like would you have got cleaner sooner? And I was like, I don't know. But like we're sitting there in the hotel and I'm like, Dad, let's go to dinner, and he's like, okay, we're Ubering. And I was like, you have your truck. Why don't we just drive? He's like, no, we're Ubering. I'm like, that's a waste of money. He's like, you can't say that. Like, you waste so much money. And like, God, like, I feel like if you don't take care of what God gives you, he's not going to give it to you anymore. But like, so I do like do a lot of things, but that's why the end of this trip is at church.
Yeah.
Because I need to
Yeah.
give him thanks for all those things that he's
That's-
doing.
yeah,
And
that's
I don't want to wake up at 5:45. I don't want to board a flight at 5:45 in the morning, but I need to.
Yeah, you need
Like,
to.
I need to.
Just to
So,
say thank you.
And like I'm hoping that the real estate investing I do gets better, obviously, because like interest rates are like crazy.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the loans the lead investors got, like it makes it harder to make money right now. So like hopefully like it's election season, like something will happen
Yeah.
and interest rates will go back down. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I hope for.
But I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
who
Who
knows?
really knows? I mean,
Real
the
quick,
government knows.
The government does know.
How big of a wrestling fan are you?
So, UTSA, like, I don't know, like, what, you want me to tell you, like,
No, wrestling.
The first wrestling event I ever watched?
No, just how big of a wrestling fan are you?
Well, like, if you looked at my nerd room, there's action figures everywhere.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't watch Monday Night Raw weekly, or, like, SmackDown weekly, like, mostly because it's football season right now.
yeah.
Yeah, busy.
Like, but,
Keep up with
one
highlights,
of my
storylines.
managers, Dame, he loves wrestling. Like, we'll talk about it, like, when I'm there, I'll obviously see it on Twitter or on Instagram. Like, if I, walked up to Paul Heyman, I would probably mark out, like,
Yeah.
Paul
Heyman.
Like,
Yeah.
that's, like, I remember, like, I loved AEW when it first started, but,
Yeah.
like, they're just so petty. They take shots, like,
Yeah.
at WWE, And
It's
I'm
like-
what did it?
It's like it's not
Okay.
even needed.
Okay.
I know.
No, we're good. It's like it's not. It's like,
But
bro.
I feel like if Kenny Omega came back, like I'd be locked in. you
Bro,
know?
facts. I haven't been watching that
Like-
shit since Kenny Omega,
Like, 'cause
took
of,
off.
like Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. Like, what is this,
Bro?
like,
These
they're,
are
like they're the young.
I don't know,
bucks.
man. I don't know, man. For me peak AEW was when Kenny Omega was in it before he started losing. But peak
when he
Kenny
was the belt collector.
Yeah.
But like he had the Impact World title. And
everything, dude.
Like him and Okada, like
bro,
in Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, that's prime Kenny. The cleaner Kenny Omega's prime Kenny Omega, bro.
Facts.
I missed that shit, bro.
Like
I used to get so hyped when I was hearing, Kenny Omega to the WWE. What? I was like, oh shit.
No.
He's not gonna fucking do it.
I like we'll put his song on right now, like his walk, and get hype as hell, like what?
Shit, let's do that.
Let's do it.
Which one you want on the cleaner?
Type in Kenny Omega theme.
Hey, we'll end it with this one real quick. I liked whenever they did like the SmackDown and Raw.
Yeah.
And they would do the draft.
Yeah.
And then you would switch from one one to the other one. That was lit back then.
Battle Cry, bro. Battle Cry.
You can go to that one right there.
I still have to put my shoe back on.
Bro, at one time he was like the best wrestler in the world.
They have a lot of money. Like they own the Jacksonville Jaguars, which like they're not like.
Hey, you own an NFL team.
Yeah,
Come on,
like
man.
that's
a
crazy.
lot of money.
Plus a WWE team, and like you see Tony Khan like 2 weeks ago, he was on the sidelines with Doug Peterson like before the game. Like, I still haven't put my shoe back. It's so weird. Like,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
This one's my favorite thing he had. This one.
Best factions of all time. Shout out to what is like Finn Balor started it with Colin.
Yeah. Oh man, this one's better.
This one's better than me.
This one takes me back, bro. Kenny Omega, if you're watching, bro, just jump ship, bro. Just jump ship. Kenny Omega, jump
He's
ship.
a VP though. He can't leave.
Fuck that. Cody left.
Cody's like the guy now, which is crazy, you know?
That
you know
is
what's crazy, bro?
How he was over there, then came over
He was
here
better
back to
chasing the belt. You can just put it down on the side or some shit. He was better chasing the belt than him having the belt. But that's the thing, though. They built him up to this point where they haven't built anybody up to compete against him. Now everyone's turning on Cody. And it's like, Cody Rhodes sucks because blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, Cody Rhodes is still the man. They just haven't invested the time to build anybody up.
No, for real.
So if you're a Cody hater, right here. Here, buddy.
Hey, bro, he got to finish his story. It was supposed to be the Rock and Roman, and the fans said we want Cody.
That's crazy.
And like it may, you know.
I think the Rock and Roman would have been the one.
The Rock and Roman's gonna.
I mean, it's gonna happen.
Pat McAfee earlier. Pat McAfee said at the end of his interview with Cody that the big guy was going to be back this weekend. Is the big guy The Rock? Is the big guy Brock Lesnar? Is the big guy Paul
Brock
Heyman?
Lesnar just got added back into the roster on WWE.com.
Okay, so since we're on this, have you watched the Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix yet?
I haven't.
It's so good. It's crazy.
I've seen
it on Netflix?
Okay, yeah, it's on Netflix. There's 6 episodes.
I've been watching the Diddy.
You've
been watching the Diddy one?
On Hulu, yeah.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Diddy.
I've been watching that. I've been watching the final season of Power Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching what else? The new season of Tulsa King.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's got to be something else. I know I'm missing it, but.
Love Island?
No, yeah.
Love Island.
I low key like watch that when no one. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm dead. Okay, so do you think they're waiting for Survivor Series to have the Bloodline, War Games?
I wish I could say it like William Regal. War Games,
bro. I love William Regal.
I know. I think so. Yeah, but I mean like.
Where's that storyline going, bro?
Who's gonna be on Roman's side? You know, like besides the Usos.
They're talking about. No. So from what I'm seeing, that they're talking about pulling Zilla Fatu and bringing him into WWE.
Because like I think like Black Label Pro had him, and they were like he can't
No, there
Or
was a
anyone.
thing, yeah, where
Yeah.
he was like, "Oh, he's not gonna fight for the rest of the. He's not gonna be in this promotion anymore."
I don't know, but I'm locked in to watch Survivor Series.
Yeah.
If that War Games happens.
yeah, Bad Blood right now seems it's just kind of like a stepping stone to get there.
But like you have McIntyre and Punk and Hell in a Cell. Like that's what Bad Blood is all
Yeah.
about right there. Like that's gonna go crazy.
Hell in
Yeah.
a Cell.
And like
those
after
are always the good ones. Hell
After
in a Cell.
Punk, if Punk beats McIntyre, which I'm assuming he will, he's gonna be like right there for like what the world heavyweight title. You think?
Well,
CM
Punk?
Punk?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe. Wait,
Hey,
well,
you have
is he
to-
gonna go against Damian Priest? Because he's not going
Wait,
against Cody.
the world heavyweight champion is Gunther, right?
Oh shit! Yeah.
So Gunther will go against Braun Breaker.
Gunther,
and then
Braun
one of
Breaker.
those guys, like I just don't see it.
Wait, I don't understand how Braun Breaker loses the IC and then gets a world title shot.
Because that like
Politics.
You know what? I don't like Braun Breaker. I don't like Braun Breaker.
The
His
Steiners.
bro, his song is trash. He needs to get a new theme song.
I saw Braun and Sami Zayn 2 out of 3 falls for the Intercontinental title on Raw in Austin a couple weeks ago. It was crazy.
I don't know. I can't like Braun Breaker.
I got you. I mean, it's all about what you like and what you don't like.
You
in the
like
whole
Braun
world.
Breaker, the Steiners, all that?
Yeah, bro. I was a huge Big Pop Punk fan.
fucking-
I loved WCW. Like that WCW falling off like hurt me as a person.
Tell me your top 3 wrestlers of all time.
Top three.
Top 3. And then we'll end it right here.
Like,
top 3.
does it have to be 1, 2, and 3? Or can it be 3?
Just give me 3 then.
Okay.
Give me 3. Cause
okay.
I no order.
I'm gonna
'cause I
go
know
Triple
that's
H,
hard. Oh,
Chris
that's
Jericho,
a
Sting.
Dang, that's
Dude,
that's good ones. That's good
okay,
ones.
okay.
Ah.
I don't know.
Chris
I don't
Jericho
know.
though. Chris Jericho was fire.
Bro.
I don't know
Like,
if
bro,
we want to
he
talk
has-
if we want to talk about top 3. Let's be a little bit more specific. Give certain eras in their career.
Yeah, because that kind of was a
Okay.
bit of each one, each
Damn.
different era. Let's
'Cause
go
for me,
2000 and up.
Sting.
That's probably 90s, right?
Yeah,
Or early
well,
2000s.
Crow, like, I just don't like how him and Hogan played out at Starrcade.
Yeah.
But, like, that storytelling, like, when Scott Hall got him to turn into the Crow, like, Surfer Sting was cool, though, too. Like, always wrestling the Horsemen. Like,
Yeah.
him and Ric Flair, like,
Has some bangers,
crazy,
bro.
Yeah. Triple H would have to be, like after
Hunter.
after when he was originally supposed to win King of the Ring, like
Yeah.
but when he became the Game, like all the way through Legacy or Evolution, Evolution, like that was pretty sick. Like I'm not like when he remember when he joined the Survivor Series team like late in his career,
Yeah.
and he was like, I'm in the team against Kurt Angle, like
Yeah.
that was pretty sick. Like I popped for that. Jericho, like once again, I watched Jericho in ECW all the way through WCW, all the way into WWE. Like when he came out that night against The Rock, like Y2J, that was super cool. Like, I mean, I just first AEW champion. Like he's done everything but wrestle in TNA, you know. So it's
Yeah.
kind of hard not to like. Yeah, like the learning tree right now is stupid. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
still a storyline. And like
it is.
he makes a lot of people. He does a lot of things that make a lot of people not like him. But like,
And he's drawing heat.
yeah. But it like legitimately like on Twitter, people are like, you are the worst person I've, like I don't want to see you wrestle, and I'm like, that's gonna like he's one of the highest paid.
Bro,
people.
he's literally drawing heat.
Yeah.
What's your top 3?
My top 3 would have to be Prime Cena in the mid 2000s.
CM Punk?
No, Prime
Oh,
Cena.
Cena. John
Oh,
Yeah,
Cena.
Super
Oh,
Cena.
okay, it's Prime
Super
Cena.
Cena.
You know he's
Hey.
in the room right now, but you just can't see him.
He's right there.
That's a
sitting
good
right
one.
next to me.
Okay.
So
Cena.
Super Cena back in the late 2000s. You got Jeff Hardy when he won the world
my God,
Bro, why are
WWE
you naming
title.
all my guys? I was about to say
No,
Jeff
no.
Hardy,
Crazy.
Jeff Hardy, and Cena.
WWE title, Jeff Hardy. Bro, when Jeff Hardy lost the WWE title to CM Punk in that steel cage match, bro.
SmackDown, yeah.
Yeah. I
Crazy.
fucking lost it, bro. I was just a wee little lad, and I was like, "No,
little
he just won this shit."
And then
this
lost
is
it.
Yeah, and then bro,
Number 3,
like
who
I
you
said,
got?
It's crazy,
fucking
yeah.
prime Kenny Omega back when he was the cleaner.
Okay, so that's your 3? That's your
My
top 3?
my manager Dame, like I have to say this real quick. He loves Jeff Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
Like TNA was in San Antonio a few weeks ago, and they actually like got to meet Jeff Hardy backstage. He signed their WWE belt, so
That's fire.
I was like really happy to see that. Like,
Nice.
because those dudes work really hard. So
Come
for
to
them to like,
fruition, yeah.
yeah, like, but what did you name? You named 2 or 3.
Oh well, my
said
last
Kenny
one
Omega.
was the cleaner Kenny Omega.
Okay, I like that. See, like, I guess like some of the matches in New Japan, but like, I don't know. That's just, you asked me to name 3. I could have kept going.
Yeah, I would say I would say Jeff Hardy, John Cena, and probably The Undertaker. That would be my 3.
I mean, but you
I
gotta
can't
be
even
specific.
give year.
You gotta
I can't
be.
even
Yeah,
give
There's
years.
so many Undertakers though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was. Okay, it's
You gotta be
hard. I'm
specific with
sorry,
the
guys.
Undertaker.
Like, are you
Too
talking about
specific.
American Badass or like?
I'm thinking.
Man,
I'm thinking Buried Alive
like,
Undertaker.
like gray gloves Undertaker, purple
Buried
gloves
Alive
Undertaker.
Undertaker.
Like, what was the group that
Where
he
he
had?
fought
The
Vince McMahon.
Minister of Darkness.
Yeah, like.
All right, Undertaker when he fought Vince McMahon. Buried
Okay.
Alive.
Buried Alive is crazy.
Yeah,
like,
that was
Yeah.
Buried. I was
Those-
there. I
those-
was there when they did that Buried Alive.
You weren't at a Buried Alive match?
Yeah, yeah,
Where
yeah.
was it?
I don't even know. Somewhere in Dallas. I think it was in
Okay.
Irving
Oh,
whenever they
okay.
had it back
Yeah.
then. It was in
Okay.
Irving, but I remember we had
Was
went
it
to
like
that. It was
was it
so
like-
long ago, man. I was sitting in the 300s. My uncle
no,
took us.
like, because I remember the first Buried Alive match was on In Your House. Was it like in your house or was it like? You know
no,
what
they
I'm
had it
talking
off.
about?
To,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
had it
yeah.
off the
Yeah.
side of the ring.
Okay, yeah.
And
yeah.
then
But was
they
it
had
like
actually
against
buried him.
Kane or do you remember who it was?
It
It
against?
was Vince McMahon versus Undertaker.
Okay, all right. I know
And
what you-
Buried Alive.
Okay, because the first one ever was like Mankind Undertaker.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, that was a while ago.
What you call it? God damn,
That's
we
a good
talk about
segment.
wrestling
Yeah,
all
we-
the
I know
fucking
we
time.
really could.
We like
But we
MMA
got-
and wrestling, like
It all kind of goes
shoes.
together. That's why
Yeah.
it makes sense that TKO bought both of them
Yeah.
and made it all one
For
entity,
sure.
basically.
That was a huge
That's
move.
a huge move for even Dana and them, and then even just Vince McMahon. It's
Right.
crazy.
Matt, we want to thank you for coming on Direct Discussions podcast. I know our goal was to fly out to San Antonio to do it at the shoe store, but the way God works, He brought you to us. So
Yeah.
for that, man, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for coming to sit on this couch all the way from the other side of the, ring post at Fury 95.
The guardrail.
The guardrail.
Yeah, the guardrail.
I don't know, man.
For sure.
Appreciate
Maybe like
the,
my life can get better in 2025 and I can come back again. You know.
Yeah, if not, we'll fly down there and then we'll do it inside the store.
Yeah, inside the store.
that'd be sick,
That's the good one right there. But
That'd
I
be
appreciate
crazy.
you for giving us a bunch of conversations to talk
we ended
about
with
today.
A dad joke.
Hey, we appreciate it for being here. We're gonna link any of the little bios and everything he wants us to link in, websites.
Look at my
whatever it is.
Instagram. It's MattBunch88. I got the in my bio the Instagram page for Countdown is
yeah.
in there, so follow that. We post shoes every day. We're buying, we're selling, whatever. You want shoes, we can get them for you. We'll figure it out. Hit us up.
We'll make it happen. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next episode of Direct Discussions. Peace.